Behind your teammate Dakota Ditcheva. First off, what do you think of her performances so far this year?
Oh, she's a killer. She's a killer. She's the future of MMA, and I think that she's only getting better. She's young, she's hungry, she's disciplined, she's motivated. She's got a good head on her shoulders. She's got a great team around her.
Kayla Harrison, the woman who's been called the face of women's MMA outside the UFC, just admitted what most fighters are too afraid to say. Dakota Ditcheva is the future of MMA. Kayla didn't just call her good, she called her a killer. Her exact words? She's young, she's hungry, she's a killer. She'll kill the UFC. She'll kill me. That's coming from a two-time Olympic gold medalist, a PFL superstar, someone who's fought on the biggest stages. When Kayla Harrison, who once had Amanda Nunes in her sights, admits that Dakota Ditcheva might end her career, that's not respect, that's fear.
Not in the UFC yet, but look at Dakota Ditcheva. She is a scary striker, and she's an amazing athlete, right? But her mom was Muay Thai world champion, so she came up in this sport and has been doing it her whole entire life.
And it's not just Kayla. Even the UFC's own Juliana killer, Miller, a former TUF champion, just sounded the alarm. She said Dakota isn't just talented. She's a scary problem, a striker, a killer, the future of MMA. Think about that. UFC fighters themselves are admitting that Dakota isn't just good enough to compete. She's good enough to kill entire divisions. Miller literally warned she's coming to kill the UFC divisions. When fighters on both sides of the war, UFC and PFL, start calling one woman a killer, you know something big is coming. Dakota Ditcheva isn't begging to join the UFC. She's not chasing Dana White for a contract. She's doing the exact opposite. She's saying, give me competition against UFC fighters, I'll kill the UFC. That's unheard of. Fighters usually dream of getting that UFC call. Dakota? She's threatening to end the UFC's women's flyweight division entirely. And here's the proof. Remember Taila Santos? The woman who pushed Valentina Shevchenko to a razor-close split decision? When Dakota fought Santos, she smashed her no close fight, no questions asked. That's the kind of ammo she's carrying into this war. And if there's one name Dakota Ditcheva has in her crosshairs, it's the queen herself, Valentina Shevchenko. Dakota admits Valentina would be her toughest opponent ever. She respects her striking, her grappling, her championship reign. But she doesn't see herself as the underdog. She says she's younger, faster, stronger, and she'll drag Valentina into a bloody war. And if Dakota actually beats Valentina, that's not just a win. That's a dagger in the UFC's heart. Proof that the most dangerous flyweight isn't in the UFC. She's in the PFL. So what happens if Dakota is right? If she kills Valentina? If she kills the UFC divisions like Kayla and Juliana warn? We might be looking at the biggest power shift in women's MMA history. Even Conor McGregor called Ditcheva the future. Fans are already fantasizing about Dakota versus Valentina, Dakota versus Alexa Grasso, Dakota versus Erin Blanchfield. This isn't hype anymore. This is a movement. So when Kayla Harrison says she's a killer, she'll kill the UFC. When Juliana Miller warns, she's a scary problem. And when Dakota Ditcheva herself promises, I'll kill the UFC. You already know the MMA world is about to witness a war like we've never seen before.
Head, yeah, absolutely. Liver shot right there, right in the body. Bang!
From that southpaw stance.
Somewhere in the world, Bas Rutten is bouncing up and down right now.
Do it! Dakota Ditcheva with a quick stick! And clinches the #1 seed. Class work again from Dakota Ditcheva in the striking.
Man,
The playoffs for the win of any kind. Oh, these brutal. Oh, nasty combination. And the body work. Dakota.
If she's going to have that getting up, it's going to be unbelievable.
Beautiful knee from the plum. And gets Jenna Bishop back to her feet and goes immediately on the attack. Bishop in trouble. And that does it.
She's young, she's undefeated, and she's already sending shockwaves through the sport. From Manchester, England, Dakota stepped into the cage in 2020, and in just a handful of fights, she's made veterans look like amateurs. But this isn't your typical prospect makes it big story, because Dakota is doing it with a mix of technical precision and a killer instinct that even the UFC's most dominant women didn't have at her age.
She's undefeated. She's knocking people out cold. Dakota Ditcheva is taking over MMA, and she's not slowing down. Remember the name.
And here's where things get spicy. Dakota isn't just here to collect paychecks. In a recent interview, she made it crystal clear she wants the big names, the legends, the so-called queens of violence. She straight up called out Valentina Shevchenko, and fans are already fantasy booking her against Kayla Harrison. And let's be real, if Ronda Rousey ever made the mistake of coming back, Dakota's speed and accuracy could send her packing in under a minute. What makes Dakota so dangerous isn't just her skill, it's her mindset. She fights like every bout is personal, like she's trying to erase her opponent from the rankings and the sport. And that scares people. It scares the veterans who don't want to be on the wrong end of a viral knockout. It scares the promoters who know they might have to market her against their biggest stars. And she might actually win Dakota Ditcheva. Isn't the future of women's MMA, she's the present. If the UFC signs her, she could walk in and take out half the top 10 before anyone even learns to pronounce her name. And if you're Valentina, Kayla, or even Amanda, you better hope she's not in your weight class when the cage door closes, because Dakota Ditcheva doesn't just want to beat you. She wants to end you. Remember the name, you'll be hearing it a lot more, and some of your favorites might not survive the storm that's coming.
Because there's one name that I am dying to see in the UFC, and that's Dakota Ditcheva.
What a fighter.
Yeah.
What a fighter.
Talk about the women's
Can you imagine her
division needing a superstar, and talk about a perfectly packaged, talented, gorgeous, eloquent, respectful, good, like literally checks every single box, and she's right there, and she is.
I'm here with a dangerous Dakota Ditcheva. First question I have to ask, how's the left hand? We saw you shaking it out in the middle of the fight.
Yeah, I think I've injured my left arm, but I think I'm just more gutted because I've been out for so long, and then I've come back and I'm injured again, but I hope you guys enjoyed it anyway. Thank you so much.
This crowd behind you from start to finish, how did that feel, especially in that third round when you were hurting?
Guys, I just want to say that was the best walkout I've ever had, so thank you so much.
Before we get you in the back, I have to know, what does the future hold for you? I know you have to heal up, but when you come back, what are you looking forward to?
I mean, I have just re-signed with PFL. We've come to a great agreement, and I'm going to look forward to the next few years together. So hopefully we can carry on bringing crowds like this, because you guys really set a standard. So congratulations, guys.
Dangerous Dakota Ditcheva fans, let her know how you feel.
There's a monster brewing outside the UFC, and her name is Dakota Ditcheva, the violent Cinderella that Laura Sanko just begged Dana White to sign. Laura Sanko said, "She is a violent Cinderella. Bring her to the UFC as soon as you possibly can." This isn't hype. This is a full-blown warning shot to every woman on the UFC roster. Dakota Ditcheva isn't just undefeated. She's untouched, 10-0 finishing opponents like it's personal, and she's not even in the UFC yet. While UFC fans beg for a breakout female star, Dakota's quietly building an empire in the PFL and destroying everything in her way. Laura Sanko, one of the most respected voices in MMA, just lit the fire on camera. No filter. And she didn't name a UFC star. She picked Dakota Ditcheva. That's huge. Laura Sanko. For me, it's Dakota Ditcheva. She is a violent Cinderella. That quote alone is a massive L for the UFC's women's roster. Because when your own team says your biggest star isn't even signed, you've got problems. So why hasn't Dakota signed the contract? Easy. She's too smart. She knows her value, and she's not walking into a bad UFC deal just for the spotlight.
There an opportunity for you to cross-promote with the PFL for, say, a Joan Ganu fight, and is there anything specifically stopping that from happening?
Is there any way to stop it from happening?
Is there anything that's stopping that specific fight or a specific cross-promotion with the PFL from happening?
No, I'm not interested in that. We tried to make that fight. They didn't want to do it, and it's done. He doesn't fight here anymore. I'm not interested.
So no fights with the PFL just in general?
Should I?
Possibly.
We got 1, 2, and 3. They can't sell a fucking gate. Oh, talk to me.
Dana,
it's a stupid question, but go ahead. Talk to me. Why would I do that? I tried to make the fight here. They didn't want to do it, but I should co-promote with like a Bellator or a PFL. Why should I do that? Talk to me.
I guess it's just, a partnership with ESPN or anything like that, just in general, with just co-promoting an MMA to make, MMA fans happy, just for everyone to be involved with each other.
What? Because of ESPN?
As a partnership.
You win the dumb question of the night. Congratulations.
She's making her money, building hype, stacking highlights. The UFC is going to have to pay up, and they know it.
Something to Dana White right after the fight. You want to share with the rest of the crowd?
Hey guys, wait, don't leave it right now. Hold on. Double jumping forever, baby. Forever. Today, if you guys look around, I just tied with Anderson Silva in defend the belt. So tonight is a perfect night to retire and then live happy forever.
Since Amanda Nunes walked away, let's be real, the division has been bleeding.
Who devised the strategy of fighting southpaw?
Look, the best thing what I did was make my gym happen. Because in my gym, I feel like it's safe, you know?
Peña's beefing with Kayla, Valentina's out. Harrison's a freak, but part-time. And the UFC? They've got no breakout female striker, none except Dakota. Ditcheva is right there, and she's smoking names in the PFL like it's target practice. Let's play matchmaker. Dakota versus Juliana Peña? That's a murder charge. Dakota versus Valentina? Striking clinic Dakota versus Kayla Harrison? The super fight we actually need. Give her anyone. Give her everyone. Dakota is the fresh blood women's MMA desperately needs. She's 27 prime years, star power, British swagger, and a fucking killer instinct. Laura Sanko. She is a violent Cinderella. Bring her to the UFC as soon as you possibly can, Dana. It's time to cash out, or get passed by. Because Cinderella's glass slipper, it's covered in blood.
Yeah, I think.
And then who wins? Dakota versus Valentina.
You really make me say that. She's my favorite fighter, but come on.
Favorite fighter, number one.
Yeah, she is. She's always been my favorite fighter, Valentina. Wow. Yeah.
All time.
Yeah, all time.
Have you ever told her this?
I think like she's just like an MMA athlete. Like,
yeah.
What can she not do? Like, she can grapple. If she needs to win by grappling, she can do it. If she needs to strike, she can do it. Like, I mean, so many people thought she was going to get a belt taken off her by the French girl, Manon
Fiorot.
Oh, you said it quite well. Yeah, people wrote her off with that, and look what she did. She always finds a way to win. I think she's very, very clever.
Dakota effing Ditcheva, and she just called out the queen of violence herself, Valentina Shevchenko. Let's be real. Everyone thought Dakota Ditcheva would jump ship to the UFC undefeated, violent, marketable British, a perfect Dana White signing. But what did she do instead? She re-signed with the PFL while throwing shade at the UFC by keeping her options wide open.
In the post-fight interview, you announced that you had re-signed with the PFL. Congratulations. Are you happy with how everything turned out?
Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, I am happy now in the end. It took a while. I mean, I fought last November, so it took a while for us to come to, you know, something that was right for the both of us. But I'm happy now, you know, just secured my future for me and my family.
And now she's gunning for the fight most